I've never been on a cruise, but I booked a trip to Florida to go to the Disney parks. I'm super hyped about it. I picked out the color of my Magic Band the other day.
See, I've never been in the Magic Band era. The last time I went was 2012. And I feel like they might have been like starting right around then, but we didn't need them for our trip.
The last time I went was 1996.
Okay, so you were also pre-Magic Band.
I was pre-cell phones, really. So I don't. All of this is so bizarre and new to me.
Everybody who goes now gets a Magic Band.
Maybe if you just stay at a resort.
Staying at the resort, right? Because if you just if you live locally and you buy a ticket, you don't get one.
Yeah, right? I think the resort, but it seems like nowadays, like they really want you to stay at a resort because just the package is, first of all, so simple. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to rent a car. It's just like stay at the resort. Right. You can have a meal plan.
You have the shuttle.
Yeah, it's super. You'll give you the
Plus
Magic
they charge
Band.
you for parking anyway if you rent a car.
Fuck
Even
that.
if you stay at the resort.
Fuck that. We've got it all planned out. Me and Jen are going.
Okay.
The first day we're gonna be cranky, so we're just going to Pandora.
Okay. I don't know if that's gonna help.
Well, no, the Na'vi are very peaceful people. And also, it's a park that we don't. It's the park that we know we're gonna have the least to do in. So we're just gonna.
Is it in Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom's cool though.
Is it?
Yes, because I used to talk shit.
Isn't it just a zoo?
It's not. It's not just a zoo. It's more than just a zoo.
I know they say that. But I think it's just a zoo.
They've added more rides.
Well, it's a zoo.
They had to make it
Pandora.
better because people were skipping it completely because they're like, it's just a zoo and it's hot, so the animals don't come out, so you don't even see the animals at the zoo.
Which is like most zoos, actually.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like the John Mulaney joke where it's like, you ever go to the zoo and the trainer's like, sorry, they're inside. And he's like, inside? Tell them we're here.
We had an eventful trip to the zoo recently.
You did?
Yeah. All the animals were like on point, putting on a show. Yeah. You gotta go put on a show. You have to go around like 2-3 o'clock, I've learned now. Mm-hmm. This was the time we went. I guess it was like after they ate. They were all refreshed. And
did you bring the boy?
I did.
Did he like it?
I didn't think he was going to get much out of it, or I was concerned like that he wouldn't get what was. I don't think he gets it, but like he actually seemed to enjoy it. Yeah. So it was good. It was his first trip ever.
He's like one and change.
He's one and change.
So I feel like I like the zoo more now because I know that not magical shit happens all the time. So I'm like, oh wow, fucking monkey. Whereas like when you're a little kid, you see monkeys and everything, and you're like, right, that's a monkey. Right. Life is full of monkeys.
It doesn't talk. It was a budget monkey.
It's. Life is full of fun and fancy. Yeah. It's like, no, child, it's not at all. So I feel like I'm going to enjoy Disney so much more now than when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was just like, I want to go on rides. But now I'm like, I want a Dole Whip. I want to go on the Carousel of Progress. Now, it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I
think you can get them now in Orlando where you used to not be able to.
Dole Whip?
Dole Whip.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Worth it.
Is it?
Holy shit.
I'm going to eat so much stuff while I'm there.
Now, you can get the float. So it's just, essentially, it's the Dole Whip in pineapple juice.
Ooh.
I actually like that better than the Dole Whip. I mean, they're both fantastic, but the float is,
it's like mainlining sugar.
Next level.
It's like shooting sugar in the vein under your dick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel.
So, we're 4 minutes into it. Let's say the name of the show.
No, wait till an hour and 20 in, which you did a couple of episodes ago. Like, if you're new to the show, this is Pop Culture Man Children.
I forget how to do it. This is Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. And I'm tired, so I feel like I'm always tired when we record.
That's nice. You make
we
me
record the
so
latest.
Exhausted. We do.
Yeah. Because you have a boy. And
I have a boy.
Yeah. so
sounds like I have a pool boy or something. Like lives out in the shed.
Boy. You put the boy to bed.
I gotta put the boy to bed. So otherwise, you just hear a lot of yelling in the background. Right.
So you're like, come when the boy is asleep. Mm-hmm. So we come and then we record into the wee hours of the night.
We sure do.
I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm your host. I'm here with the
tired.
Can't even think of an adjective. The Janine Gagliardi.
The one and only.
You have you always had those highlights in your hair?
No. You know that.
Are they brand new?
They're not.
When I say always, I mean like the last time I saw you last week.
Oh, yeah. They were in my hair last week.
I didn't notice it last week. We watched...
oh, my God. Kumite.
Yeah, we watched Bloodsport. Not a very bloody movie.
But a very sporty movie, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of athleticism on display.
Yeah, I thought it was like, having never seen it, I thought it was going to be like a kung fu movie, but it's really like Rocky.
Kind of. We were talking about the tournament. It's a tournament structure.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. Because you don't really need a plot at that point. It's just the tournament.
Right, just built-in drama. This guy against that guy. So, Janine Gagliardi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm gearing up for the season. I think this is like a perfect visual transition that you're looking at in my house right now because I have like an Aloha banner.
Yeah, I still see the Aloha.
And there's a pumpkin on the table. So it's like pumpkin. We're going in. Summer, moving into fall.
This pumpkin doesn't have a jack-o'-lantern face, but it has stars, and it reminds me of the chapter headings for the Harry Potter books. Yeah. Right?
It reminds me of that as well. I think that's why I liked it.
It's whimsical.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
It's whimsical. I just bought a black light for my situation. I've got
So what's the situation?
Let me back it up a little bit.
Sweet. Need more information.
So in my basement, I set up a table, and on the table is there's like grass in a driveway, which I made out of felt.
Wow.
That I got from Michael's. But on top of that is from this new Lego horror line, the haunted school bus.
Okay.
Wait,
I think you sent me a picture of this.
Yeah,
and it's just their original.
Yeah, it's not based on a movie or TV
property.
show.
They created it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
A few years ago, they had something called Monster Fighters, and it was more like Van Helsing stuff, and this is more like a hipster version of that, because it's like they all have cell phones in it. And like the line itself, like you're supposed to, there's like a Pokemon Go aspect to it where you download the app and you play with it. But my phone is crappy and old, so it doesn't take the app. So I just play with the Legos.
Sure, like God intended.
And what else? Oh, also I have from the Disney store a stuffed Mickey and Minnie as werewolves. And around them I've got like Christmas lights, but they're pumpkins with Mickey ears. Okay. And then I've got, I should say in the center of it, I have a creepy tree, the Halloween tree, which has ghost lights on it. I didn't send you a picture of this.
I think you might have, but I didn't know what I was looking at because it was very dark.
So that's why I got the black light, because I really want to make those things pop. Okay. And I put this up, I don't know, September 3rd. I was like, it's time for Halloween, everybody.
Everybody get it. It's 90 degrees. Time for Halloween.
So, but, I don't ever put it up and go, it's up. Like, it's always a work in progress.
It's okay. I see that. Like, I have this one pumpkin because I got it today. But, like, I haven't brought everything out yet. Yeah. But there's some people on my block who are already decorating, which I appreciate. But I can't get into it until there's like a chill in the air.
There's been a chill in the air.
I
need
a little Christmas. There has, so I'm gearing up for it now. Now I'm like, now I'm ready. Once we have a week where there's like the last 80-degree day, then I do it.
I think I go on the Starbucks schedule when they bring out the pumpkin spice.
Out like August 30th.
I'm like, yep, 'tis the season.
But that new cold brew with the pumpkin cream is like,
how is it? It looks so
incredible.
good.
It's delicious.
It looks like this is an offensive name. It looks like an Irish car bomb. Do you remember those?
I do remember those.
Hey, were any of you problem drinkers in the early 2000s? Then you remember Irish car bombs. What were they? They were basically...
It's Guinness.
Yeah.
Right? And then would you drop a shot of Jameson in it?
No, Bailey's.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it Bailey's? Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of the brain damage, whatever that other one was, where it looked all super weird, and they were like, drink it before it curdles, and it's like, that's not a sentence I want to hear ever.
Because it's going to curdle in the stomach.
Yeah, it was, right. It was a beer with Jameson in it.
Yeah, you drop Jameson shot in it.
And then like, drink it, you mess.
Yeah. Clean yourself up.
Drink it, you goddamn loser. And it's called an Irish car bomb, which is so offensive. But the early 2000s were a wild time.
Oh my god. A lot of bombs, Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. What were Jaeger bombs?
Jaeger bombs were, I think it was Jaeger and Red Bull.
Oh god, Jaeger's so
You just
horrible.
wanted to have a stroke immediately.
Jaeger's like, hey, do you want a really bad drunk? And also, do you like the flavor of black licorice?
Do you want to get fall down drunk, but you want to run really fast first? So have a Jaeger bomb.
Do you want to drink with a stag on it?
Bombs real quick.
Oh my God. I actually just reached 5 years of sobriety.
I know.
No more.
It's probably a good time to start up again.
You know what? Once 2020 happens, we'll see who wins the election.
Hey,
I might
it's
be
the
like,
roaring 2020s.
I know. It's I've got a Gatsby-like scheme going on. You don't know this, but I've got a whole group of people that think I'm a socialite.
Oh, okay. I don't want to blow your cover.
Yeah, please don't. I have a whole fake Facebook for it. So let's go to the news. I've only got 3 news stories, so if you want to throw one in here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I prepared a lot for the Halloween special this week and very little for the actual show.
I could tell based on our text messages. I was like, what's that? Trailers? What's going on?
Yeah. You were like, trailers? And I was like, yeah.
Those look good.
If you insist. Actually, all the trailers for today are for TV shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like to switch it up. I say like it wasn't a complete accident. Princess Bride remake? Not gonna really happen, but it seems to be something people are talking about.
Yeah, it was a sketchy thing.
It was a
to
sketchy
begin with,
tweet,
right? Yeah, it was like I don't know who said it, but it was to the effect of like powerful people in Hollywood want to remake it.
Yeah, Sony Pictures Entertainment Chief Executive Tony Vinciquerra mentioned the idea of a reboot to Variety in a profile on the film's executive producer Norman Lear. Quote, "We have so many people coming to us saying we want to remake this show or that show. Very famous people whose name I won't use, but they want to redo The Princess Bride." And that doesn't mean anything except saying that they're interested in remaking it, which I'm sure in boardrooms all over the entertainment industry, there's interest in remaking every single thing.
Sure.
But that didn't stop the internet from getting upset.
Everybody got upset.
Carrie Elways.
Reiner, I think, was quiet about it, though.
Yeah, I didn't hear. Carrie Elways was very upset by it.
Maybe a perfect tweet, though.
Yeah. There's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It would be a pity to damage this one. See, in the real quote, he's talking about women's breasts.
That's right. Buttercup's breasts in particular. She's about to stab herself in the chest.
And you don't want to hurt the boobs.
Don't hurt the boobs.
All right. I love The Princess Bride so very, very much. I think it's very charming. But here's my hot take. Remake it. I don't care.
That's fresh out of the oven. It's so hot.
I love the original. I do. But unless the new film will cast some sort of incantation that will make the old film disappear, I don't really care. I think if anything, the world of remakes has shown that like it doesn't do that.
Yeah, true. With the proliferation of all these remakes in recent years, it doesn't ruin the original at all. I think it just shows how good the original actually is and how difficult it is to recreate that lightning in a bottle, you know?
Yeah. I don't think it could be as good as The Princess Bride, but I also don't think that if they make a new one, I can see it when I'm 7. Like I saw the original when I was 7. I feel like too often people don't take into account their personal relationship with texts. You know, someone's, you know, we always talk about like the neckbeards who are talking about like their childhoods being ruined. But, you know, some of these things aren't great. Like I've used this example probably too many times on the show, but I always think of the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies when like guys in their 30s had like shit fits, and it's like, you know, it's like a movie about talking turtles. Like it's not Shakespeare. Like I love the originals because I was a little kid for them. You can't be like, oh, Michael Bay's ruining it. Like ruining it, really? It was always fun, and now it's still fun. So I think another Princess Bride would be fine.
I'm sure it'd be fine.
I'm
if
not
anything,
gonna cry
it would
over
interest a new generation in the old one.
Yeah.
Where they'd be like, oh, I like this. Let's watch the original.
Carrie Elways just doesn't want it to happen.
Well, he might be in it. He could be Miracle Max.
Oh, that would be a sad. Should I get into makeup now? No, you're good.
You're good. You're fine.
Just go right on a set. You want to give me a costume or anything? No, what you got is fine.
It's a stretched out V-neck. Perfect.
You know what we should do? We should reboot Robin Hood Men in Tights, but like make it serious.
Oh my God.
Hot takes.
We can get Kevin Costner to remake Robin Hood Men in Tights, but he tries to be funny. It's the worst thing in the world.
He tries to be funny. Yeah, he's not very good at being funny. Him and Sam Rockwell have both done like 10 movies in a row where they're vicious racists. And it's like, what are you telling us?
Huh. Interesting.
I haven't...
But Sam Rockwell seems so cool and Kevin Costner seems so square.
Like he might actually... The camera... He didn't know the camera was on. He's like, oh, I hate black people. Oh, what?
What was that? Have
Allegedly.
you seen The Postman?
It was so funny that Waterworld failed spectacularly, and he was like, how about we do that exactly again, but this time no water at all. It's a desert. And they were like, here's some money for some reason. You're Kevin Costner. 90s stars.
We're burning our Kevin Costner bridge right now. He'll
I know.
never be on the show.
He was ready to do it. He was thinking about his obsession,
Oh my God.
which his obsession would be racist lawn ornaments. I collect them. I like the ones with the white gloves.
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
I don't like this story.
All right. So that's not going to happen. Or it is. I feel like we live in such a weird thing where we can you can will a movie into happening. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I think some nerd was like, no, it'd be cool an Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And fucking then Ewan McGregor was like, that's cool. I would do it. And then from him saying, I would do that, it materialized.
Well, we've talked about this before with like parasocial relationships, but you have a direct line to celebrities if they're on social media now.
Right.
Where, I mean, they might never see it, but you can DM them. You could just tweet at them.
Yeah.
And somebody sees it, they like it, whatever it is. It's wild times. I guess you're right. That if you get enough momentum, you could potentially...
Right. This could backfire. It could actually make the Princess Bride remake happen.
Right.
There may have been no real interest in it, but then people being mad about it.
Oh, but that would have been brilliant, though, if they knew that they'd cause an uproar, so they did it for that reason. Just like leaked a little info.
That could be.
That's nefarious.
How can someone in Hollywood be
manipulative?
Yeah.
In any way.
Okay, so MoviePass is dying, but its former leader wants to resurrect it.
What?
Ted Farnsworth says he isn't ready to walk away. Just days after MoviePass shut down, it officially died a couple weeks ago, by the time you hear this. One of the key players behind its initial success and subsequent failure wants to purchase it. Ted Farnsworth announced today that he has made an offer to acquire MoviePass along with related assets belonging to its parent company, Helios and Matheson Analytics Incorporated. In a press release, Farnsworth said he is proud of MoviePass and has no intention of walking away from it. How do you sync something so bad and then, while the day it dies, you're like, I want to do it again?
You think it's just pride? Or do you think he really believes in this?
But can he be that dumb? Because I feel like
he started MoviePass, I guess.
But I feel like
it's like Michael Scott's paper company. It's like he didn't know how to make money. He didn't know how much it would cost to do anything.
Right.
And it was just too good of a deal to be true.
He thought we'll show the movie industry how much money we can make, and then they'll partner up with us.
Right.
Rather than they'll just steal our concept and shut us out.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened. You haven't seen The Founder, right?
I have seen The Founder.
You have seen it.
For the most part. Bill was watching it next to me on a plane while I watched Hidden Figures starring Kevin Costner. It comes full circle. So he was really into it.
It's really
loved
good.
it. And I just didn't have the headphones on, but I basically saw it.
All right, great.
It's
So
fine. I know exactly what
I want to
happened.
reference a
It's
piece
about
of dialogue
McDonald's, right?
from it. It's a beautiful story about capitalism and how evil it is and how it corrupts the soul. Because it begins being about this down on his luck milkshake machine salesman who just he's sweating it out in his old suit and he's trying to sell milkshake machines, and then he finds the McDonald's and the McDonald's brothers, and they bring him in and they show him their whole operation, where the original McDonald's they literally they constructed the kitchen in a way so like it was all mapped out, so like this person can hand it to that person, to that person.
So like an assembly line.
And it could, exactly. And they actually brought him in, and they bought some of his milkshake machines, and he bought into them, and then he franchised them. And as the movie goes on, he becomes more and more evil, and he eventually shuts them out and buys them out.
And he wants the name.
Right.
He wants that name.
Yeah, in the end, after the meeting...
The guy's on his deathbed, right?
One of them is. One of the brothers. And the one who's played by... what's his name?
The big bald guy?
No, not.
Oh, Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman.
See, I've seen it.
Yeah. He's like, can I ask you a question that I've always been thinking about? And then Ray Kroc, played by Michael Keaton's like, do you want to know why I didn't just take your idea? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, we showed you everything. And he was like, honestly, I wanted the name. McDonald's. Mm-hmm. It just sounds American. Mm-hmm. Chilling. So anyway,
right.
That brings me back to Movie Pass, wherein the AMC and Regal just like, we're gonna do our own. Thanks for giving us this great idea, and bye.
So long.
Yeah. So
long, dummy.
But it's funny, who's he buying it from?
Himself, right?
Did he sell it off?
Or Helios? Maybe he's buying it from the original investors.
But it
I
says
imagine he brought the idea to investors, right? And then they own some percentage of the name.
Yeah.
And so he'll probably buy it completely from them. So then he can do whatever he wants with it. But they don't want it. It's a garbage name.
Yeah. Wait, the terms of the deal were not disclosed. It would include Movie Pass and Movie Phone. I didn't know Movie Phone was related to Movie.
Wait, Movie Phone?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's like a brand that I feel like is still around, right? Don't they compete with Fandango?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. It was a moment in time. Mm-hmm. One moment. All right. Did you hear what the story behind the new Robert Pattinson The Batman is?
I haven't heard anything about that project
Supposedly,
other than Robert Pattinson.
Supposedly, it's The Long Halloween.
Oh, shit. Really?
Director Matt Reeves' long-awaited film, The Batman, has had a plethora of rumors surrounding it, due mostly to its long production. This is from comic book... what is it? Comicbookreviews.com. CBR.com. But one of the biggest current rumors surrounding the film, which will star Robert Pattinson as the Dark Knight, deals with the comic book story that it will take inspiration from. Director Kevin Smith, why does he always... I feel like so many like news stories come from him. Known for his supposed behind the scenes intel, has recently said the new film will be based on Batman The Long Halloween. This landmark murder mystery played a fundamental role with the post-crisis Batman mythos, establishing many of the modern takes on Batman's villains. Though choosing such a landmark story makes sense, it could come off as a bit of a retread. With the numerous other stories to choose from with Batman, why return to this one that has such a huge influence on previous adaptations? I've never read The Long Halloween, actually.
I have, but it was a little while ago, and I don't remember who the villain was, and that was like the whole thing.
Isn't it a one-time villain? Like, I know there are other villains in it.
It might be Mad Hatter or somebody, like, weird. But it was an extremely cool story. Hold on. I have to look it up now. Spoilers for The Long Halloween, everybody. Mm-hmm. It's been out for a minute, so should be okay.
It's been out for a minute. It has been out since, like, what?
Let's see. Oh, Calendar Man. It has multiple villains because it's really cool. In between the pages, you'll see like the calendar flipping up, and it's just like it goes throughout the year. Is Calendar Man really the bad guy in it? I don't think. I mean, he is a bad guy.
The last Batman thing he was featured prevalently in,
I think it's
is the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah. Okay. 96 and 97. It's been out for a while. Wow. Yeah.
It's 20 years old.
I guess it was over the year. Yeah. Oh my God. Look at that cover. It's so cool. Okay. In any event, there's a bunch of villains in the story. I think they have Catwoman, Harvey Dent. I know Solomon Grundy's in it, which is really cool. We don't really see him very often.
Born on a Monday.
Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, Riddler. And then, let's see. Who does it turn out to be? Is it Calendar Man? That can't be right.
That's
terrible.
Is it King Tut?
Oh, who's that guy that
Egghead?
Not Egghead. I love Egghead. But I think Vincent. No, it wasn't. It was that guy from like Bewitched. He's like the cousin. It's on The Simpsons, and he plays like the Scoutmaster, and he's got like a team of Boy Scouts that attacks Batman.
Paul Lynde?
Is that his name? Well, I don't know.
Was he the dad from?
He's like the heavily implied gay cousin.
Right. Yeah, he's the dad from Bye Bye Birdie, or the voice of the rat from Charlotte's Web.
Yes. Templeton.
Paul Lynde. Right. He was of that weird time where you couldn't be gay, yet his whole character was, "Hey, I'm gay."
Right.
But
we're
also
never
it was like,
talk
"Wink,
about
we can't talk about it." He was the center square in Hollywood Squares.
That's right.
And there would be bits like, oh fuck, what was it? It was like, it would be all these jokes where it was like, the joke is he's gay. Like, you're on a boat and the only woman falls off the boat. What does the captain say? Mm-hmm. And then his scripted response was, full steam ahead. Like, what does that mean, America?
That was like with Charles Nelson Riley too, right?
Yeah, he's certified bachelors. Mm-hmm. Just can't find the right lady. I wish they would make a movie based on the Arkham games. Have you ever played those?
I have not. I've watched them played. Like, I think...
Was the sound on, or was this another founder situation?
This is a founder situation.
I was once again watching Hidden Figures, and someone else was playing Batman.
I was watching it on my iPad. Love Hidden Figures. As we all know. I do actually love Hidden Figures. I think we've gotten into this. Maybe on a mini we'll do it one day.
I haven't watched it. I still need to see it.
I think it's a perfect plane movie. Well, maybe.
What? All right, that's an episode. That'll be a mini. I was about to say what is a perfect plane movie, but we don't have time for this. So you got any news?
I don't know. Do you want to touch on the SNL stuff at all?
Yeah, let's touch on it.
What a story. Oy vey. But I'm hearing the thing about this SNL stuff, which...
What is the SNL stuff? What's happening?
So they announced their 3 new cast members. They have their very first East Asian cast member, which is like a big deal.
Okay.
And his name is Bowen Yang, I believe.
Okay.
And they have another female cast member that they've hired, whose name I don't know. I don't think anything of note other than that she's a woman, so good for her. And then they hired a potato-looking white guy named Shane Gillis, who looks truly like a potato with very small eyes and a tiny, tiny mouth. In any event, in their like grand tradition of hiring,
potatoes don't have mouths.
He's a tiny. It looks like somebody carved a potato.
And they were like...
Because they couldn't afford a pumpkin.
He's the 400th...
And he's the guy. Or like they wanted a Mr. Potato Head, but they couldn't afford it, so they made him.
They couldn't afford it.
They couldn't afford it.
So they made this man.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah. So he's got a real like frat boy kind of vibe.
I feel like that's been a lot of... Essence. You know what I mean?
He's like a huskier dude. He kind of reminds me of... oh God, who's that guy from Mad TV? Is it Frank something?
Caliendo?
Yeah, he kind of like he has that vibe about him, sort of. I don't know. Mm-hmm. He just reminds me of him. So, except I'm not accusing Frank Caliendo of being virulently racist. So, I'm sorry, Frank.
Sorry, Frank.
Sorry, Frank. I know you listen.
Frank's in the Doctor Who movie, the American Doctor Who movie.
Oh, really?
No, he's not. That's Will Sasso.
You're like, that's a lie.
I am so fattest. People will be like, oh, I guess all fat people look the same to you, huh? All fat cast members. I guess Mad TV always needed a fat guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. You got it.
SNL doesn't always have a fat guy.
No, but
there's really like one.
But he's like Hollywood fat. This guy Shane Gillis, he's just like husky. You know?
Okay.
So in any event, he joined the grand tradition of like mediocre white men hired by that show, and
they don't announce that. It's the 400th mediocre white man.
Yeah, we got him. So somebody found, and didn't have to look very hard, an episode or just episodes of a podcast that he's on with his friend. This guy, I don't know his name. Who cares? And this is from, please note, September of 2018.
So we're not going back into the archives.
At the time it broke, it was one single year ago, or maybe even less than a year.
It was a year.
A year ago. And I mean, I'm not going to say the word because I hate that word so much, but they're talking about Chinatown, and he refers to people who live there as a really, really offensive.
Wait, is this what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Like the real, like...
It rhymes with Jar Jar Binks.
Well, that's offensive in its own right.
Yeah. So it's...
Well, that's not even...
Yeah. It was not...
That's not even funny racism.
So I watched...
It's like so simple.
I watched the whole thing, right? And he basically says, yeah, Chinatown, a lot of blank live there, right?
Wow.
That's the joke. That's the joke. So,
and Lorne Michaels was like, guys,
get him.
Give him $1 million.
So... And he said a number of other things, and he said like he was putting on like a terrible accent, like calling noodles neuters, like doing the L's to R thing. It's just like lazy, boring piece of shit comedy that I remember in the 90s on the episode when Krusty was like trying to be an edgy comic. He's like shamed by all the comedians. And this is the 1990s on The Simpsons because he's doing a bad Asian impression, and they're like, oh my God, he's the worst comedian we've ever seen. And it's like 25 years ago they were saying that was hack and lame. So now you're doing it. It's not even funny. It's the same bit, right?
And it's not that it's oh yes, it's offensive, but it's not only that it's offensive. I'm saying that it's just hack.
It's just so stupid. So he makes this comment where he is like, a lot of my past stuff from a long time ago, September 2018, he is like, a long time ago is bad. A lot of my comedy is bad. I've never said it was good. So they're like, so why is SNL hiring you? Because you're
have you ever watched
comedy?
SNL?
It's very in keeping with their brand. In any event,
are you bad at comedy?
Come on,
welcome to SNL.
Get aboard.
Yeah, we're still on
sinking ship. And he said that he's trying to be edgy and pushing the envelope. And I'm like, super edgy, my guy. Super duper edgy.
Wow.
And he said, if you're actually offended, I apologize.
Oh, I guess it's my fault, huh?
Yeah. So they hired this trailblazing, edgy comedian.
You know who's trailblazing with those words? Margaret Cho, when she would like say things like that, because she is an Asian woman and she genuinely was making fun of racism. I'm kind of sick of the.
And she's in the 90s.
Yeah, right. It's such a weird cop out when people are like, "Oh, I'm not being racist. I'm making fun of racism." And it's like, all right. That's such a cop out.
I don't know what that even means in this context. Like, what you said doesn't make any sense.
I'm being ironic. Like, I'm doing it and you're laughing, but you're not genuinely laughing. You're laughing because how crazy it is that I'm doing it.
Right.
But I'm still doing it. I also don't know. I don't trust audiences. It's kind of like the Dave Chappelle thing. Forget what's going on with him now and his trans situations. Let's go back to Dave Chappelle back in his show. Remember he said, like, I stopped doing it because I felt like people weren't getting it. I think that happens. Like, people talk about All in the Family, and it's like, I think a lot of America was laughing with Archie Bunker, not at him. They were like, yep, you're right about those people, Archie.
Yeah.
And I think
and when that turn happens, what does that mean?
Yeah,
like how it affects everything. Well, in any event, SNL said they weren't moving forward with him on the cast. I think he's been pretty quiet thus far. We'll see what happens. A lot of comedians have been defending him, which is just weird because
there's been a whole thing
not
going
very
on.
Funny.
There's a whole movement with Chappelle and
he's been thrown in the same bucket as like actually talented comedians.
Yeah.
Who are maybe problematic now but are genuinely talented.
Yeah.
Or maybe or flirting with being problematic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like Chappelle is actually edgy. Like he does really he is pushing the envelope in a lot of ways and did for years. This guy I think is not very talented.
Doing like that voice is like, I mean, look, I haven't heard it.
It's as dumb as you think it is.
Okay. When are publicists in the digital age going to realize that like you need to scrub everything?
I mean, the
like, oh, you just got on SNL? Okay, we're going to put it through the machine and we're going to screw up everything.
Yeah. Or you're auditioning for SNL, get rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, you were on your friend's podcast?
The sad part is it's completely overshadowed the fact that they have their first East Asian cast member the same
And it's such a sad irony that his racism is making fun of Asian people. Oh, boy.
Yeah. However, there's a conspiracy theory.
Oh, shit.
Because everyone's been asking, like, because part of SNL's statement was, you know, we did not vet him properly. Right?
Have you seen Adam Sandler? We're not good at this.
Yeah. But now they're saying that for the most part, when you audition for SNL, I don't know if you know about this process because I don't really know a lot about it.
I think you go in, you need 2 characters and 3 impressions.
Right. Impressions, you need characters, and
there's no audience.
Like an original sketch idea. Yeah. And usually they don't laugh, right? I heard what's her face? Adie Bryant talk about it and saying like I was told they're not going to laugh.
There's like 3 people.
See a million people a day. Like, you know, they're not going to laugh at you. And like, she got to laugh. So she was like really excited about that. In any event, he didn't have to do that.
What?
He just did material from his stand up and that was it.
So they're getting more lax over there?
That's the thing. He's also earned a reputation apparently on the stand-up circuit that he's kind of racist and homophobic in his act too. So people are positing that like they were trying to court like a conservative audience by hiring him, and then it just like backfired, or it didn't backfire and they were just trying to like drum up controversy in the first place, that like they knew what they were doing, because it seems like he didn't have to go through all the hoops that SNL cast members usually have to when they audition. So it's kind of a weird situation. I don't know. Story's still developing.
Here at Pop Culture Man-Children, we will get back to you with this ongoing story. Let's go to Trailer Corner. So we watched 3 trailers for today, as we usually do, and they're 3 series: Watchmen for HBO, Undone for Amazon, and Living with Yourself for Netflix. Where would you like to begin?
I'm the most excited for Living with Yourself. I think it looks really good.
So what is it about, do you think?
It seems like, so I thought it was going to be a comedy, a very dark comedy.
Yeah, that's what intrigued me.
And then I saw it also tagged as horror. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Paul Rudd.
Yes.
In 2 roles.
Yes.
It has a very Eternal Sunshine feel to it, I think.
The trailer looks funny, and then it looks scary, but then it looks funny again. Right? So I'm like, what are you?
I know.
But then when it said a series, I was like, a series?
I'm so curious. So it's Paul Rudd plays this guy who, by the looks of it, is very unhappy with his life. Seems like his marriage is ending. And he goes to a service in like a strip mall. It looks like a tiny little place, right? Like a hole in the wall. I thought it was like a massage parlor or something, because it's a spa, they said. Yeah. And then he goes in and it's very futuristic looking. And he's talking to 2 people who I believe look identical.
Yeah, I guess it's...
It must be the same guy. Because
the premise ends up being...
Right. Yeah. But you don't know it at the time that what's going to happen. I mean, you find out pretty quickly. Yeah. But so the draw is they're going to improve your life overall. They're going to improve your outlook. You're going to have a whole new perspective on life. So he wakes up from this procedure. He feels amazing. Things are going better with his wife. Things are going great at work. He's the life of every party. He's doing fantastic.
His hair looks better.
He's glowing.
Yeah.
He's Paul Rudd. I mean, come on. So he wakes up because he hears a noise downstairs in his home, and he goes down to investigate, and his wife is like, oh, it's an intruder. And he gets into a scuffle with the person in the house, and lo and behold, it's him. Yeah. So... now it's kind of like a multiplicity thing. It seems like they're keeping it a secret from her. But the scary aspect is he's like, what happened? And he's like, I woke up on the table in the place. I walked out. I felt great. He's like, I woke up in a grave. Yeah. And it looks very scary. Like him digging himself out of a grave. Yeah, he's in like a body bag, and it's terrifying. Yeah. And he's just like, he's the same guy.
But I'm wondering if like, did the consciousness split? Like, did he, our protagonist, wake up feeling happy, and then this other unhappy guy is not really our guy? Or is it really like both are him?
Both are him, right? So they say the thing with cloning, right? And I was just listening to this episode with Bill Nye about cloning, where it's like, yes, you'd have all the same exact genes, but you'd have completely different life experiences because you'd have to start all over again, and they wouldn't have the same exact conditions as you, so they'd never be the same person as you.
Right.
But this seems to be a situation where, like a multiplicity type situation, except in that movie they get dumber with each clone.
It's a Michael Keaton classic.
I actually love that movie. It's so bad. In any event, this seems like he's the same exact person.
Yeah.
He didn't know that there was any crossover. It was just he went to sleep and he woke up and now he's him. It kind of reminds me of The Prestige.
Yeah.
Where he said he's always afraid he's going to be the one in the tank this time.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. It looks like it gets a little violent, which is where it gets a little thrillery.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a couple of things. It reminded me of the Rick and Morty, where they go to the spa on the alien planet.
Yes.
And they feel great and happy, and young Morty is like super in charge of everything, and he's got the girl that he always but like then there's the shitty toxic Rick and Morty that like were excised out of them.
So you think it's all of his toxicity is in this other person, or you think he's the original guy?
He seems more like the original guy, but I think
the original guy seems very negative.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why he did it.
Well, yeah, he's very. The first thing we see him is like swat a fly, and he says, "You're welcome to the dead fly."
Yeah, that's dark.
Yeah.
Also, like little things, he's just annoyed by his other self.
Yeah.
And the other self seems unfazed by him completely. Like he knocks down this like Eiffel Tower he's working on, and he's just like, okay. Like just doesn't get angry about it at all.
Yeah.
He sees him like dancing with his wife, like doing like a cute little dance with his wife in the hallway, and he's just like, fuck. Like
yeah, the happy one looks like he might end up being like unlikably arrogant. This also reminds me of, and I've actually never seen this, but I've heard people talk about it. There's an episode of the 1985 Twilight Zone with Bruce Willis.
Okay.
It's called Shatter Day. Peter J. Novins calls his home only to hear himself answer at the other end. And it ends up being like there's Bruce Willis plays two roles, and one guy's like living his life, but he's living it better than him. And he's like, they fight over who should do it. And there's also a book that came out recently called Dark Matter, which is also about a person who, well, I guess spoiler alerts for the premise of this book. He gets kidnapped in the very beginning, and it's very sort of thrillery and scary. And then you realize he's been kidnapped by himself. And then you realize there's a bunch of different versions of him, and they all live in these different universes, but they all want what they think of as their life, which only one of them can have. And it's very heartbreaking. Like there's a scene where they have a meeting of all the guys, and one of them's like, why do you get to have her? Like talking about the wife.
Yeah.
Dark Matter. It's a very good sci-fi novel.
I love that.
You should read it. It's very good. So this is I'm not saying that this is unoriginal. I think this is a tried and true fantasy sci-fi trope or narrative that I think is very fruitful.
I think so too. I was just trying to find. It's called Asymmetry. There's this short story called Asymmetry by Kendra Fortmeyer, and it's the same thing. This woman goes on suffers a terrible breakup, and then she goes on a blind date, and while she's on the date, another woman rings the bell to come in, and it's herself. And so they go home together, and they're just living life together. And again, one of them is doing it better than the other one. And as the other one is living better and better, the other one gets smaller and smaller, like physically shrinks.
That's
and becomes
a cool
smaller
idea.
Until she's like, the clothes are all baggy on her, and she's so tiny, she's just like sleeping on the pillow. And then at the end, you think she's gonna, the larger one is gonna devour her, but instead she kisses her, and they become one person.
Oh,
because she's recovered post breakup.
Oh, that's a cool metaphor for what happens after a breakup.
I love that.
The book I'm talking about, Dark Matter, is from 2016, and it's written by Blake Crouch. Cool. Check it out.
I will.
This is way off topic, but I just thought of it. Have you ever read anything by Charlie Jane Anders?
Yes, I love Charlie Jane Anders.
I actually met her.
Oh, really?
She signed my book at BookCon the year before last.
She's such a good writer. Oof.
She also is one of the her and her partner co-founded IO9.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
And I said to her, I miss the golden age of IO9.
Oh really?
And she was like, wow, like we started it in like a bedroom. It's crazy that you say that. She has a crazy story. Well, all her stories are good, but she has a crazy story called 6 Months, 3 Days.
Okay.
And it's about two psychics who fall in love. Oh. And they both see the future. But their difference is one of them believes that the future is entirely fixed and there's no free will, and the other thing is that the future's open. So they both know they're going to break up in like a month. Oh. And it's like their journey towards that.
Okay.
And she is the one who thinks the future's open. And she's like, we don't have to break up in a month. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, we have to break up. And like, that's what makes them break up, because they don't see it. He's like a fatalist. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And then she has a novel, All the Birds in the Sky, which is about what if like a mad scientist falls in love with a witch, and it's magic versus science.
Love it.
But it's not as goofy as I made it sound. Like it takes its premise pretty seriously.
The story of hers that I read is a story about a genie, which you think would it's so good. Yeah. A genie at the end of the world, and it's like, that's not the title, but it's just like the world ends and this girl finds a genie, and then it's about her trying to craft the perfect wish to bring everything back. Yeah. It's great.
She's like the best, I think the best sci-fi writer.
She's a fantastic
She also wrote a lot of really good criticism of the Matt Smith era of Doctor Who. And I think she has a really good understanding of the character Doctor Who, like really smart grip on it. So she's really good.
Era of Doctor Who. It's the one I'm probably the most familiar with.
The Matt Smith era. So going back to what we were talking about, it's interesting. I think we were talking about its tone. Is it funny? Is it scary? I think putting Paul Rudd in it helps the comedy.
Disarms you though,
because we love
the
him.
Horror, because he's got such a fun, affable face. He like never plays a dark character. Right. So if it really gets scary, then I'm here for it, because that seems.
I'm into it. It looks really good. So on Amazon, there's a new series called Undone.
Yeah, similar vein of like the surreal
Waking Life.
Yeah. Oh, Waking Life.
Rotoscope movies.
Rotoscope.
Which is, if you don't know, it's animation where you film it with a typical live action camera. And in the old days, an artist would hand draw each image, or hand draw tracing the image, so it's animation but it's over live action, so it has an uncanny realness to it, even though it's animation. If you look at like the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings, a lot of the battle scenes and stuff, even some of like the original He-Man, some of it's rotoscoped. And then in the early 2000s, was it Richard Linklater made Waking Life?
He did Waking Life. He did Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly, based on the Philip K. Dick book. And those are both digital rotoscoping, where it's kind of more like flash animation-y. And instead of hand doing that, basically you would film it with a camera, and then I think you would assign on the screen like if it's somebody's cheek, like you put the 3 dots digitally on their cheek, and then it sort of processes the information and it makes the animation. So this looks a lot like that type of animation.
Right. But it's from the people who did BoJack Horseman.
Right. And they're very proud of it. That's very much in it. It's like from the people who made BoJack Horseman.
I know. BoJack Horseman's so good. In any event, it seems like this woman, again, kind of bored with her life.
Postmodernism, man. I know, right? I felt like the 3 things we looked at were all very like classical postmodernism,
which I kind of felt was over. Everybody has a purpose now, right? Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody's doing something.
Right.
So she's very bored with life, and she gets into a terrible accident that causes her to be hospitalized and lose consciousness for several days or some amount of time. And when she wakes up, she's talking to her dad, but then we come to find that her father has been dead for some time. And she's experiencing like disjointed reality.
Right.
She keeps losing time.
Right.
She
saw her father appear before the car accident. Like that's what made her like. She saw her dad, and her dad always looks disaffected, like he's on a phone.
Yeah. Okay.
And her dad is what's his name?
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. And she is Rosa Salazar from Alita Battle Angel. Okay. Imagine her eyes bigger.
Even bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what she did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so she's not unfamiliar to the animation game then.
She's like, do weird shit with my face.
That's cool. So she seems to be experiencing these like glitches in reality where she'll be in one place and then she'll find that she's actually in another place. Like there's this one scene where she's like, she thinks she's in the bathroom and she's nude, and then she's like in a classroom of children at the place where she works, and
with
like
Daveed
Diggs is like, whoa,
Diggs,
like so it seems like that's real. So you don't know if she's experiencing, like she's just in like a fugue state and she actually went to the school nude, or if she's actually time traveling, which is the I guess the premise is that now after this accident she can see her father because she's actually traveling through time, and he's going to teach her how to control it
and save
his life because he was killed. It was not an accident or whatever happened to him.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting premise on the pirate streaming app that I sometimes look at but don't engage in and use. You want to cut this out? No.
Oh my God.
Listen. So I'm putting it out there. It's the number one thing in animation right now, so I think a lot of people are streaming it.
Really?
It might looks be. Really cool. It's probably more popular than the numbers suggest because a lot of people are stealing it. It seems, but I have Amazon Prime, so I'll just watch it on Prime. I pay for Prime.
Sure. Well, you just use the pirate thing to make suggestions for you, and then you go out and buy them.
Bill calls me a fake bad girl all the time. He's like, "You're just fake bad girl. You're not real. You'll pay for the streaming service."
It looks, I don't know if these are just similar things that we happen to come upon, or if we're going into the winter and we're getting into more interesting stuff.
I mean, I think
we're coming out of this blockbuster
summer fun
and like interesting stuff.
I feel like in the fall it's always that, because with movies you're doing the award season, baity movies, and then with TV it's like all the primetime TV. People are inside more. It's like they want more like appointment television.
It's like fantasy sci-fi time. But it is fascinating. I did a lot of I studied a lot of postmodernism when I was in grad school, and it started off mostly as something of like the late 80s and early 90s, like the idea of like I mean there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Some people just use the term postmodernism to refer to an aesthetic, but like if you look at the philosophy of it, like from like Frederick Jameson, it's the postmodernism is the logic of late capitalism, and it's that capitalism has gone so insane that everything that once had meaning is meaningless and reproducible.
Is that where like meta things fit into postmodern theory?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And like Neo from the Matrix, like it's all meaning. He's looking for meaning, but it's all meaningless. And it seems like that type of postmodernism is coming back, because part of it is
I feel like it went away for a while.
Yeah, it did. We're in
I mean, we're technically still in postmodern period, right? It hasn't. There's like no new term, or is there? I don't know.
Some people have bandied about postmodernism, but
that's not very elegant.
That's not. Yeah, when people do that, it never sticks. We would still. I mean, we are still in crazy late stage capitalism of this thing's going off the rails.
True.
But like the idea of the fractured protagonist, which is a big part of, like, Philip K. Dick is all postmodernism. Like the protagonist is like, am I a robot? I don't know.
Right.
Which is what Blade Runner is. And this is called Undone.
Right.
So it's like she's undone, her world is undone.
Right.
There's a really interesting moment in the trailer where time is speeding up, and I guess there's a woman, maybe it's her mother, sitting in the hospital room with her, and you see her age and then turn to bones and like crumble, like really. And I've already seen gifs of this because it's amazing animation.
I love animation. I really do, just as a medium. I'm such a huge fan.
Listen to our Love,
please do,
Death and Robots.
Oh, season 2.
Apparently
has a date, but I don't remember what it is.
I didn't know it was
like a
coming
vague
out.
date, I think.
I'll take it.
Just a year.
I'll take it.
Maybe 21. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see.
Sure,
we'll watch it.
Guys, you take your time and do it right.
It.
We'll listen to that episode.
Witness won an Emmy.
Oh, won an Emmy, huh?
If you'd like to hear our take on The Witness, please listen to that episode. It's the one we like the least.
Yeah.
The animation is gorgeous.
I feel like it's political,
animation.
Not political in terms of actual ideology, but political in terms of how Hollywood works. Because it's the guys who did Into the Spider-Verse who made The Witness.
That's so weird.
And I feel like they want to like...
Into the Spider-Verse is so good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like they just want to, blow those guys.
I guess.
You know what I mean? They're like, you're going to be it now, the way Hollywood does.
Amazing, but
yeah,
that one wasn't great.
Yeah. And I got it. All right, the last trailer we looked at.
Listen, I know we're in trailer corner, but I do have some news.
What?
Bill just informed me that it is the 42nd anniversary of Fonzie jumping the shark.
Oh my God. And I this is probably the episode where Pop Culture Bad Children jumps the shark. JK, that happened years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Gagliardi.
Yeah. And Wendy's food.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that a soda for sharing?
I don't know. That's stories.
Soda for sharing.
Who's Sharon?
Do you remember?
You guys talking about Fonzie?
Yeah, we are.
Well, happy anniversary.
Fonzie.
Hey, quit yelling.
Speaking of Fonzie, do you guys watch Barry?
Yeah, we watched season 1.
Season 2 gets crazier.
I've heard. It's fine.
Do you remember one time in like 2007, you were drunk? And
Probably not then.
I bought like McDonald's and I was like, do you want some? And you were like, no. And I was like, seriously, do you want some? And you were like, I do not. And then you ate all of my McDonald's and I was super mad at you.
I wish you just listened to me. I didn't want any.
And then I
probably didn't want you to get it because if you had it, then I would have it.
Yeah. And I got super angry at you. And then you were like, you ruined everything. You kept saying that. You ruined everything. And I was like, what, the food? The night? Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, the Watchmen.
Oh, that's what's left. Okay.
I'm getting excited about it.
It looks really crazy.
Yeah. I
feel like I'm not going to understand any of it. I'm worried about that.
Well, you've read it, right?
I've read it, but it doesn't seem to.
Well, I feel
like it doesn't inform this much beyond. I mean, I guess we'll find out. It doesn't inform it beyond like the Rorschach.
Yeah, there's
aesthetic.
There's like a Rorschach
mission.
Terrorism.
There's a lot of Rorschaching going on, it seems.
Right, the cops
have the masks.
It's supposed to be years. It's supposed to be like a sequel. It's years after.
Adrian Veidt's still alive.
Right.
Ozymandias.
But what's her name? The one from Designing Women?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
She's Silk Spectre.
Really?
Yeah. So there are
Silk Spectre 2?
Yeah, well, the one who
wasn't
the main
the first one. Okay.
Yeah, not the original, but like the main one of the comic book.
What's her name? Jean something?
Oh, I don't remember her. Oh, I'll look it up.
Oh no, not Silk Spectre. I mean,
you mean the
actress.
The actress?
Yeah.
She's also in Legion.
Really?
Yeah. What the fuck? Watchmen.
Delta Burke.
It's not the illustrious Delta Burke.
God, I wish it was. Jean Smart, Laurie Blake, Silk Spectre.
Okay.
And Jeremy Irons is Ozymandias. I watched it a few times, and there were some interesting things that popped out.
Okay.
There's a statue of Nixon that I saw an image of, which in the comic book, it took place in an alternative reality 80s where Nixon became like the president for infinity. Like there was no more elections. He just was president forever.
Okay.
So this is after that, and he maybe is still the president or he's died or something. And the owl ship. Very like you see the owl ship
crash, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the I think I texted you that. Like it looks like Night Owl's ship is crashing.
Yeah.
Through the trees.
Yeah.
So like,
and I think
I don't think we see Night Owl.
No. Well, didn't he die? Don't he and Rorschach both die?
I think just Rorschach.
Huh. So is this?
Because everybody else is like, yeah, okay.
This is post octopus world or
right.
giant squid world.
Right. But in In the Zack Snyder movie, they don't do it.
No, they make it
like a bomb or something, right?
Which makes no sense because how would that end the Cold War?
Right.
If it were a nuclear weapon, we would assume that it's
But
like
he just teleported a giant squid into the middle of the city, right?
Which is so bizarre,
so wild and weird.
There's also a cool moment in the trailer where Ozymandias is on a horse and you see him pass by a black Skull and Bones flag, which would be a reference to the Dawn Trader. The comic within the comic.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, when I was reading it for the first time, I was just like, this again, because it doesn't stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the animated version that they did? Gerard Butler
No.
did the voice.
That was coincided with the film, right?
Mm-hmm. It was if you got the DVD, it was on the DVD special.
I did not get the DVD. I had the weirdest moment when I saw that movie, which is the opening's great. It has great opening credits. And we've talked about this before. It looks a lot like it, but I didn't think it was very good. But I went to the bathroom 10 minutes into it to pee, and there was some nerd there. Mm-hmm. And he had on his Watchmen t-shirt, and he looked at me and he was like, they did it.
Wow.
They really did it. And I didn't want to be I don't know. I didn't want to ruin this man's moment. So I was like, yep, they did. And then I backed out slowly.
I feel like the only movie that really deserves that was Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, because it was such an unadaptable thing. And I feel like he really did it.
He did really
I'm not going to talk about The Hobbit, but Lord of the Rings I think was fantastic. I think people still love it.
I mean, some diehards hate the changes, but it's it's such a literary book. I mean, you need to turn it into a film structure.
Mm-hmm. Well, in any event, the Watchmen stuff, I'm very curious to see where it goes. It also has kind of a Westworld feel to it.
Yeah. The main character is a new character who seems very cool.
Nun? That's her, the persona, the costume.
But she's also a cop, or maybe she's just...
I thought she was a cop too, because you see a star on her belt, a sheriff's badge.
Right. And it seems...
Don Johnson is there.
Yeah. He seems like he's a big part of it.
Yeah, because I thought she was a vigilante.
Yeah.
Or she was doing it...
Do you want to say that word again?
A vigilante.
Yeah.
Did I...
You said vigilante, and things got super British for a second.
What did I really?
You went vigilante.
A vigilante.
And your pinky went up. Vigilante. Come on.
I don't say vigilante. I say vigilante. Like a Spaniard. A vigilante. So she is.
Yeah, and it looks like
but I think she's actually on the up and up. I was very surprised based on the first trailer. It looked to me like she was a cop, and then at night she did vigilante business. And then I'm saying it the way I say it. I'm not gonna be sorry about it. But it looks like
Silk Spectre's her mentor or something.
Yes. Yeah. But then I was very surprised to find that she's in the cop's office, Don Johnson, and then he's assisting her.
Yeah.
So maybe they're both cops, or maybe she's just friendly with the cop. I don't know.
Yeah, and what's his name? Tim Blake Nelson. Seems to be a big part of, or a big character in it. And he plays someone called Looking Glass.
Interesting.
Because he has
a
Rorschach kind of mask.
Rorschach unmasked.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
But he has that sort of, what would you call it? A sort of silk kind of mask, but it's reflective. So I guess that's why he's Looking Glass.
Right. But it seems like everybody has those masks. Everybody has the Rorschach masks.
Yeah, well, the terrorist organization have those Rorschach masks.
Right, and then the cops have the yellow. They're all in yellow.
And there's a scene in the trailer where one of the terrorists with the Rorschach mask is speaking with the mask on and is like, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, that's what it would really sound like. No superhero movie ever does that.
On your face.
Yeah. No superhero movie ever makes it sound like someone's wearing a silly mask on their face.
Right, because in the Watchmen movie, Rorschach just sounds gravelly voiced.
Yeah.
I always love that about the Watchmen comic, that it was just every time you see him out of his costume, he's the most pathetic, stringy looking, yokel looking guy that you've ever seen. And when he goes to jail, people really pick with you. Yeah.
You're locked in here with
people
me.
Really pick on him because he's so gross looking. And then he's pockmarked and has acne and shit. He just does not look like.
But he's brutal.
He is.
He's like Batman without any compass. He's he'll kill and he's totally fine with killing.
Yes.
Whereas what's his name? I can't always forget his name. Owl.
Is it Night Owl?
Night Owl. Yeah, I think it's Night Owl. He's more of like a Superman archetype because he's super naive.
Yeah, he's so innocent.
I guess they're kind of. I'm realizing something that everyone else realized 30 years ago. I guess they're like kind of like a version of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
Yeah.
The three main characters.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like a really interesting show, and a crazy way to go about making it. So I don't know. I hope it's good.
I mean, I'm gonna tune in
That's all we can do
on the correct streaming app that I'm supposed to do.
Well, no, we would never steal that. But I'm sure. You know what? I think you should steal it for Alan Moore.
Oh, do it for Alan Moore.
I'm not gonna pay for it. He'd be like,
he'd be really happy about it.
He'd be like, good. Fuck them. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with the chill sesh. You enjoying that, Frosty?
Yeah, we always talk about what I ate during the break.
Yeah, you usually have a snack.
I do,
during
but
the break.
it's not. This one was like a meal. I had spicy nugs.
I had a few French fries.
A few of mine to get me back.
Yeah,
the McDonald's story you told.
Still didn't really get you back.
Didn't really.
How's that Frosty treating you?
It's delicious. I've told you this before. I feel like I'm the like devil on your shoulder, whereas like Emilio is the angel. For like he's always talking about.
But you're also
like,
always doubled over with heartburn, so it's
it's really. I mean,
so
it's really
I'm not looking at you
myself.
like, I want that.
But he's always like, drinking like aloe or algae or
he has this fish tank and he scoops the algae out of it,
right
and he's
out.
like,
And I imagine taking care of himself, and I'm just like eating dozens of bowls of cereal, and spicy chicken nuggets and Frosties, and I feel like our bodies reflect our choices. But
oh yeah, Emilio's tight like a tiger.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby.
Oh my God. This is Pop Culture Man Children PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined Sorry, I had a stroke in the middle of that sentence. I'm joined today by Janine Gagliardi and her Frosty.
Yeah.
Her Frosty.
And my impending diabetes.
Diabetes. So this is the chill sesh or the frost sesh.
I'm feeling it, chill.
What have you been chilling with?
This Frosty, for one.
Nice. For listeners, if you don't know already, October is going to be one hell of a month. There's 5 Wednesdays. Wednesday 1 is the 100th episode spectacular with me and Emilio Sparks. And then the other 4 will be 4 Halloween specials with Janine Gagliardi, Nadia Cater, Anthony Bongiorno, and Vin Forte. Oh my God, somebody get my telescope. All the stars are out.
Whoa.
And it's going to be a fun time. I was saying the other day, I want to be the Roseanne of podcasts. And my friend was like, what? You want to restate that? And I was like, nope, not a raving racist. I mean like the Roseanne sitcom. Like I want you to be like, oh, Halloween's coming. Can't wait for the PCMC Halloween.
Right.
That's what I mean when I say I want to be like the Roseanne of podcasts.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
I feel like I've been chilling with Halloween, though. I've been getting into the spirit.
Okay.
And I know we
Do you
can't
have a costume?
I have one planned now because of what Henry's into, but he's 1-year-old, so it's like limited to like animals.
What is he into?
He's into lions. He's also into butterflies recently, which I love.
That's cute.
I think it's so cute. I want to make him
You should make him a butterfly.
Oh, he's so beautiful. But
you should make him a caterpillar, and then halfway through the day, make him a butterfly.
Just like release, and he turns into a butterfly. And I also just like send him off into the sky.
You hang him in a plastic box for a week.
That honestly, that has been what I've been chilling with, is like a lot of animal like videos and books and stuff. We don't watch TV with him. That was not an on purpose thing. That just kind of ended up happening because I listen to a lot of podcasts every day. So including this one.
Henry is really up on his podcast.
He loves true crime.
He's like, wait, don't tell me.
Absolutely.
I'm 1.5. or like what is he, like 1 in a month?
He's
1 in
14
2 months.
Two months.
1
in 2 months.
1 in 2 months. Why don't we start with years after we hit 1 year?
I just say he's like a little over 1.
Yeah. But like clothing goes by months up until
they go
like
by months until 2, I think.
Yeah.
And then 2T, then it's 3T. They don't care about you after that.
Yeah. I guess you grow so fast at the beginning. You're like a little chia pet.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, it's been like I've been learning about animals along with him, so that's been nice.
What have you learned about lions?
I've learned that the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer lion that we know and love does not have like a really typical roar of a lion. So like that's the roar we maybe associate the most with lions, but it's not really what lions sound like, because I've looked up lion roars because he really loves lions. He's like really into them.
That's adorable.
He's gonna be a lion for Halloween.
So what are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be a lion tamer, of course.
With the chair and everything?
No, I don't want to do a chair or a whip because I feel like it's cruel. So I'm gonna set a hoop on fire.
You don't have to whip your child.
No, I have to be authentic. So
jump through this whip.
Jump through this hoop that is flaming, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Bill's gonna be an old-timey strongman.
Nice. Do you have a mustachio?
It will.
Dang, fantastic. You can buy one.
Like,
you don't have to grow
like,
one.
You can hear like one little hair pop out.
Are you going trick or treating? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, we actually took him trick or treating last year.
Aww.
I mean, we
like,
didn't ask for candy. We're like,
human.
Can we get something?
Here's this barely alive thing.
We did like with our friends who have kids. We just kind of walked around, and now this year,
what was he dressed as for his first Halloween ever?
He had 2 costumes. So for our
what a diva.
For our I'm Orthodox Halloween. For our first, so we had the party first. We have a Halloween party every year. We were Hermione and Harry Potter, and he was Dobby.
Oh,
but Dobby is like, he wears like nothing, so we didn't want to take him outside in this outfit.
You didn't have him in a sack?
He was only like a few months old. We did. That was the thing. We had him in nothing but a little sack and a hat that had ears. But this is
what if no one, like, it wasn't Halloween? People were like, do you just keep your baby in a sack?
Dirty pillowcase child. So for the outside, it was a little too chilly. He couldn't wear that. So he was Hedwig the owl.
Oh, but still on theme.
Yes, of course.
Still on theme. Well, that's cute.
You gotta be.
So aren't you excited for when he, like, can decide for himself?
I am, because we're such like a big Halloween family. I mean, he probably won't even want us involved, but like I'd go all out. Like whatever costume he wants to do, I'd be like, cool, we're making it a family costume and we'll be the other characters.
So the real heartbreak will be when he's like, no, Mom,
please,
I want to just go out with my friends.
Involve yourself.
Why don't you just find your own costume? How about that? Who do you want to be this year? I want to be the last man on earth, Mom.
Please leave me be. Oh my gosh. No, I hope he has like a very Elvis-like relationship with me and like builds houses in my honor and has my picture in every room and really creeps out his wife, and that's all I want. What every mother wants.
I hope for that. That's amazing.
I want my son to be the king of rock and roll. Yeah, I do.
What have I been chilling with? Oh, Hustlers. I saw Hustlers.
Oh my gosh.
It's really good.
It looks really good.
It's really good. I think Jennifer Lopez should win a fucking Oscar for it.
That's what everyone's been saying.
She's incredible in it. Something that's been coming up just randomly on Pop Culture Man Children is this idea of you're so physically attractive, people don't notice your talent.
Okay.
Like me and Amelia were talking about we were talking about
Are you talking about Brad Pitt?
Yeah, we were talking about Brad Pitt a few episodes ago.
Who I think is genuinely good also.
Yeah, he is very good, but
I mean, but it hasn't hurt him in his life being attractive. It definitely got him in the door.
No, but I'm saying, like, you don't go great actors Brad Pitt. You think Brad Pitt one of the most sexy men alive.
There was some article about him recently, and the title was Brad Pitt is a character actor in a leading man's face.
Okay, I'd go with that. But anyway, first of all, they all play dancers, at least in the beginning. They're exotic dancers, right? And oh my god, she does pole dancing. Mm-hmm. She's in phenomenal
incredible
shape, though.
She's in amazing shape. Just turned 50.
Unbelievable. She could crack a walnut with her butt cheeks.
I bet she could.
She's the way she can use her body. Like when she has this whole like, it reminded me of the Magic Mike movies. Like she has a like whole extended dance in the beginning, which is her like introduction.
Okay.
And it's incredible. And she's really good in it. She's fantastic as like, I don't know if you were to compare it to something like Goodfellas, she's sort of like the De Niro to Constant Wu's Henry Hill. Yeah. Like she's like brings her into the life. She first teaches her like how to make a lot of money as a dancer.
Okay.
And then the plot, which is based on something that really happened, is after the 2008 crash, the club that they worked in really suffered. No one was going in anymore. In the movie, it's called Moves, but it's based on the real club Scores.
Oh, Scores. Okay, sure.
And basically, the scheme that they come up with is, well, first, the club has them going out fishing, where they go to bars and they meet like high roller guys and they bring them in, and it's just a way to get money in the bar.
Right. So they're like buying drinks, they're buying dances, all that stuff.
But then she's like, why don't we target really, really rich douchebags, drug them, and then when they're completely out cold, we take their credit card and we just fucking max it, and we just fleece these people. And they did it, and they became rich, and they like were like living this amazing lifestyle, and because these guys were embarrassed to say. I
saw that in the trailer. Like, what are they going to say? They had a wild night out, and that's it.
Exactly. And this really happened, and it's.
Do you know what happened to the people in real life? Like,
do
the movie events follow the real life events?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll say spoiler alert. They get caught, but none of them really serve time.
Good for them.
They really get away with it. They really kind of get away with it. The two main people behind the operation just get probation.
Okay.
And then some of the other girls, because eventually enterprised out, and they had a whole ring of like, at some point they're not even doing it themselves, and they've got other girls doing it for them, and they're just like the bosses.
Nice.
Some of the other girls had like weekend jail.
Oh,
which is like a weird thing that can happen.
Like you have to turn yourself in on
the weekends. Yeah,
kind of like what happened with Jeffrey
so none
Epstein.
of them. Yeah, exactly. So none of them were ruined.
Okay,
really.
But see, this is the thing of like the double standard of like if men were drugging women, what would we be saying? But like the power dynamics societally are completely different.
But when you think of a heterosexual man drugging a woman, we're thinking of him taking advantage of her body.
Right.
They just drugged these guys, let them sleep, and just took advantage of their money.
Well, I agree that it's not as
and they're all
bad.
Wall Street guys. They're all douchebags.
Right. But remember Cardi B, who was in this movie.
Yeah, not as much as I wanted her to be.
I didn't think she was going to have that big of a role, honestly. I think they were like teasing that she was in it to show.
Lizzo's in it.
I know.
And you see her, you basically see her topless. She's wearing like a see-through top.
Oh, okay. I feel like Cardi B got in a lot of trouble for saying she basically did exactly this. That she would convince guys she wanted to have sex with them when she was a dancer and then drug them and like steal what was in their wallet.
That's the weird like sort of line that they crossed, because it's like when does it become a crime? Like I guess the drugging.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a crime the whole way through.
Well, but no, the drugging is.
Bill, you want to get in on the legal?
Well, yes.
Wait, no. If you go to a gentleman's club where
that's not a crime.
What you're buying is dances,
right?
And the girl is flirting with you and pretending like she likes you, so you spend more money,
right?
That is the whole way it goes. The crime is drugging them, but the most of these bars, most of these places are selling them alcohol and have like $50 fucking co-charges on their ATM machines and all sorts of crazy shit. So it's like it almost mirrors Wall Street in that the thin line, it's completely unethical but legal, and then it sort of steps over this thin line into now it's illegal, but it's still the same premise of what you were doing.
Right.
They're just drugging these guys.
But the guys wanted to be there in the first place, so it's like, well.
And they make a point, at least in the beginning, to only go after people that can afford to lose it.
Oh, but then do they start hitting people who can't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like you see in a lot of crime movies, like J-Lo she's charismatic and amazing through the whole thing, but she gets a little bit darker. She gets a little bit like less caring.
Right.
And
not like Robin Hood anymore.
Right, exactly.
No.
Well, yeah, their downfall is they basically ruin a guy who doesn't have any money.
Right.
And he's like homeless now. And he goes to the cops and he's the one who basically like crazy shit happens. Then the cops go to one of the girls, they have her wired. There's actually an amazing scene in the movie where one of the girls is wearing a wire to try to get J-Lo's character to admit what they're doing so they can have, pretense to arrest her. So the scene plays out like it would in any normal Hollywood movie, but the sound is the sound from the wire. So it's like this sort of tinny, bad sound that you would hear, but you're seeing pristine Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
And the dichotomy of both is really interesting.
That is really interesting.
They do a lot of interesting with sounds in it. It's just it's a beautiful movie.
Who made it?
What's her name? It's a female director. Which I'm glad because I feel like a male director would fuck it up.
That's interesting
because there's nudity, but it's not like
strip
exploitative.
Clubs are all about servicing the male gaze, but this is like a female director behind the camera, and so.
But it doesn't feel, despite the nudity in it, and it's not too much. Like you never see J-Lo's nipples. You never see any vagina. You see, it's actually less nudity than I think would be in it if a guy were directing it.
Actual strip club.
Right, exactly. But it doesn't feel exploitative.
Which is funny because that industry seems so.
No, I'm sure it is. But like the way like J-Lo is filmed in her entrance, it's like it's very like she's like a star. It's like she's like commanding the stage. It's totally worth it.
Oh, I'm excited to see it.
It's directed by Lorene Scarfaria or Scarfaria.
Okay.
Lorene Scarfaria, Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, Julia Stiles.
Is she one of the dancers?
No, she plays a reporter. Oh. She's like barely in it. She's like the one who's like asking questions because it's framed as like them telling it as a story. There's a lot of interesting. It's very good. I thought it was amazing. I also saw Downton Abbey last night.
Oh, did you?
And I've never watched the show.
Is it a It's like a theater
sequel,
theatrical release.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, you've never seen this show? Okay,
Ever.
Neither have I. I've not seen a single episode. Did you like it?
Yes.
That's cool.
I still found it interesting.
Okay.
I mean, I did go with a fan of the show.
Okay.
And she would be like, this one's that one, this one's that. Right? Or that one's wife died, whatever. But I think even without that, I would have gotten it. And it was interesting. I enjoyed it.
It's available as an Airbnb now.
The actual place?
The actual place. I don't know what it's called in real life, but I just saw it. There's a news story.
Yeah, yeah. Maggie Smith is, of course, she steals the show.
She's still with us.
As her...
God bless.
Her catty self.
Love her.
Oh, and her main antagonist is the actress who played Professor Umbridge.
Really?
So they're at odds again.
Those two.
Oh, those two.
I hope she gave her a savage dragging, as she does in the movie.
Oh yeah, she does. That's all. I haven't seen the show, but there were a lot of fans of the show in the audience, and every time she was on screen, people were like howling.
Dowager Counter!
Yeah, I think like it's all about like the thrill of the show is her just fucking throwing shade all over the place. Her coming in with her cane and just being a fucking...
Just laying waste to everybody in the room.
Yeah, just fucking sharp-tongued devil. She's amazing. She is. God, I would love her to play Doctor Who.
Oh my God.
Before she goes.
Like in a special?
Yeah.
You want
like she
running.
wouldn't... I don't think she's...
You want her full blown
Yeah, I don't
running.
think she'd be able to run that much. Maybe we should have done it 10 years ago, but I think she'd be an amazing Doctor Who. Right? She'd get the thing that a lot of the older actors who play the character get of like, I've seen everything.
Right. That's one of the things about Doctor Who that like moved me so much in the Doctor, like that big Doctor special for like what, the 50th anniversary or something. Where David Tennant talks to his real life wife's dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, you felt like me. You were fun. He's like, when I was younger, I wanted to, he's like, I wanted to seem older, like you always do when you're young. So like,
right.
I love that line.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of reconning the whole series of like, because the first Doctor Who was old and stuffy.
Super old. Yeah.
But he's sort of saying like, I was just playing that way.
Right. Kind of like I had imposter syndrome back then. So I was trying to seem more important than I was. And now that I'm old and kind of comfortable in it, I can have fun.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the new season with
Jodie Whittaker?
Yeah.
No.
It was really good. I think she's very good.
Yeah. I like her a lot. Have you ever seen Attack the Block?
Yes.
I love that movie. And I love her in
movie.
it. I thought she was great. I like her better with brown hair, I think. But she looks good. She looks like fun, like rainbow bright.
Yeah, I believe she is modeled after some random photo of, I think, a suffragette. It's interesting. She doesn't even talk that much about the gender change.
Okay.
There's one episode where they're in India and there's a wedding and she gets to go to the ceremony where the women get to go to, and she says something like, I would never have done this as a bloke.
Yeah.
And then there's one episode where she says, come to daddy, or I mean come to mommy, when she's talking to the TARDIS. I really like the new series and the new direction of it. You say that you're most connected to Matt Smith, but I think I like Matt Smith as a performer, but I think the series during that time was too contrived and silly for me.
Okay.
I liked the David Tennant. I like 9 and 10 better than 11.
Okay.
I like 12 more than most people too.
I was out.
Peter Capaldi.
Once he showed up, I was like, my tenure here is done.
Peter Capaldi.
I started with Matt Smith, then went back, watched the Eccleston and Tennant years.
I think a lot of people do.
And then once Matt Smith was out, I was kind of over it at that point anyway, because I think his Doctor really ran its course, and I think a lot of people, I guess, are great fans of the show.
Yeah, and it coincided with the 50th anniversary, and like
so we went through that, and then once he started, I was like, I just don't have the energy for this.
Yeah, I think it's actually good that the show takes a year break or 2-year break sometimes, because it should always feel a little bit like an event. I mean, otherwise, how is it going to go on for?
It's incredible.
Crazy. It's the longest running science fiction series in TV.
It's Always Sunny just passed a
landmark.
Benchmark. Yeah, 13 seasons. It's the longest running like primetime show. It's tied with who's it tied with?
Not Married with Children, not Cheers.
No, some like not like Ozzie and Harriet, right?
Something like that.
But also, those guys like write every single episode.
Yeah.
Whereas like most sitcoms
years
have
off.
like
they've taken like a full year off.
Right.
So they've actually been on for longer than 13 years.
Yeah.
Because their seasons will go. It's not like those shows that have like a million episodes and it's like, you know, they'll just keep going with the seasons. Yeah. They only have like 10 episodes a season.
I have a really weird relationship with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is every time I watch it, I'm like, wow, this is just absolute brilliant genius. But I don't ever search it out. I don't ever look for it. I
never want to watch it, and then when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is really good.
Right. I never.
I think it's the aesthetic. I don't like the aesthetic.
Perhaps.
And so I'm not drawn to it. I'm not like, oh, I want to delight my eyeballs with this.
Right. But I've never been disappointed by it.
There's a great podcast called Still Processing, and they just talk about like pop culture phenomena and a lot of it through the lens of like blackness and black culture, or like what the social what the ramifications are for black culture.
Is that your baby's favorite podcast?
It is. But they're talking about like whiteness and how often like shows don't get like what it means to be like white in society. They don't do it well. And they argue that It's Always Sunny is like the best show about whiteness.
Interesting. Why?
Their argument, they kind of said it and I was like, really? And then they didn't really elaborate too much, but they said that they just kind of, I guess because they are like struggling with what it means to be like a white person in society.
But they're also terrible, but their privilege allows them to maintain and exist.
They feel like because they're very entitled people.
Yeah.
And they're always shown like why they don't deserve any of of it.
Yeah.
Or they had that episode where they become black for the day. Do you remember
Oh
that
my
one?
God, yeah.
And that was an insane episode where they're like,
Yeah.
I feel like I finally understand it, but they don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like by punishing these characters, they're always like checking the privilege, checking the entitlement, like
Interesting.
exploring these issues of whiteness
Wow, yeah.
in this series. So I've wanted to go back and rewatch it through that lens, but I don't ever want to watch a single episode.
Right. I don't know why it is. I'm this exact same
It's
way.
such a good show.
It's so good.
It's really good.
But I've known some people who like every week they're like, "Oh, it's on," and I'm like, "Is it?" I'm happy it's out there. And maybe one day I will binge. You know what it is? I think in our binge society, it's too dense to binge. I think it's unbingeable because it's too good. It's too dense.
There's so much to mine there that you can't fly through it.
Right. You kind of have to take each one.
Which is wild for a comedy.
Right.
You know?
Right. Which on its surface you think is just scummy people.
Yeah, but they're really saying like a lot about society.
Yeah. I think it takes the premise that Seinfeld said that they took, at least towards the end of the series, where it's like, we're shitty people. And it's like, that wasn't always what you were about.
Yeah.
But it does it really well.
I feel like they ran away with that at the end of Seinfeld.
Right.
Like, we're the worst people alive.
The whole final episode is sort of built on that premise, which is like, that's not why we were watching you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like we started with "You're just like us," and I guess
right.
we're terrible. So fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, so you want to like watch a few episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
The Christmas special is good. I've seen that. I've sorted that out.
I think I've only missed the last season. I've seen
really?
it all. I've seen it all. I've seen almost all of it. Yeah.
The Christmas special when Danny DeVito comes out of the couch naked
Yeah.
might be one of the best moments in comedy history. Danny DeVito is such a brilliant director and writer and performer, and the fact that he debases himself for that show just shows his dedication to the craft of comedy.
Oh my god. He one scene like digs out an ingrown toenail with a knife, and he's like, I need the toe knife. First of all, they have a knife for it, and then he's just doing something in the background of the scene, and then he starts screaming. He's like, botched toe. I gotta fill it with garbage. And then he starts taking handfuls of garbage and putting it on his toe. And that's the show.
Was that the episode where he's like, hey, when people come over, could you not use the toe knife? And he's like, I'm not going to put on airs for people.
Yes, I think so.
Do you call that putting on airs? Oh.
I still say botched toe all the time.
It's a botched toe. Oh God, it's so, and the fact that they write every episode is crazy. That's such a crazy amount of work.
Yeah.
And they also do weird things like the season where Matt got really fat.
Yeah.
And then there was a season where he got really buff.
He's super shredded in the
and now
last
he's gay
season.
now, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he out as gay?
He's out.
Which is interesting because they
the
always
joke was always like, oh,
Right.
you're gay. And he's like, he's deeply closeted.
Yeah.
And like extremely homophobic. And then he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of this. He's like, I'm gay. Yeah. And they're all making jokes about it. He's like, yeah. Yes. I am gay.
It's kind of the way to diffuse that.
He takes the air out of the room.
Right.
And he walks out, and that's the end of the episode. They're like, oh.
Right. If you're like, yeah, I am. There's nothing you know.
Yeah.
It takes the wind out of it. I love the episode where they all go to dinner. But they're having different dinners.
Yeah, different tables.
You're like, don't look over there.
And they're all like trying to spite each other. They're really horrible people.
Oh man, that's a good show. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back with Obsessions. This is Pop Culture Man Children PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. You're Janine Gagliardi. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Did you have a good break?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hit the spot.
This is good. This is Obsessions. What are you currently obsessed with?
One of my favorite podcasts is back.
What one is that?
Do you know about My Dad Wrote a Porno?
I've heard of it. I haven't listened to it.
Okay. Well, very, very not safe for work.
Okay.
You need to listen with earbuds in.
All right.
Or while driving your car alone.
Okay.
Or with somebody who knows it, because it's...
Have you ever had that moment where you're like listening to a podcast and your window's open and like something crazy comes out and you're like,
time.
Everyone's going to think I'm a
with
horrible
this
person.
podcast, I'm always like windows up all the way. So, and also I feel like I have a real expiration date on listening to a lot of the podcasts I listen to, because like Henry's going to be bigger soon. And like, I don't want him listening to, well, first of all, he cannot listen to this.
He's going to start getting it.
He can't listen to true crime. Like he can't listen to a lot of the things I listen to. So I'm kind of like, this is not going to be for much longer. I better enjoy it. He's going to be like,
what's murder?
Yeah. He's like, how do I murder you? So my dad wrote a porno. This is now its 5th season. Essentially the premise is these 3 friends, one of their dads is retired and he enjoys writing. And he's done a lot of like these self-published novels on Amazon. And he basically saw E.L. James's book series 50 Shades of Grey and decided, well, that's not particularly well written. Why can't I do that?
The guy's dad.
And wrote an erotic novel series called Belinda Blinked.
Oh my God.
And it is filthy.
Really?
Yes, but also really funny because it's extremely poorly written, and he doesn't seem to have an understanding about the female anatomy, and is causing his son now, who is reading it aloud with his 2 friends, to really like feel sorry for his mother and like kind of question what the hell's going on in that bedroom.
Oh, that's horrible.
And so he wrote 4 books, because he writes like every day. He says, of course, his dad writes every day, and he writes a number of stories. Well, yeah, his dad's idol is Stephen King. He loves writing, and so he wrote this series of books. He wrote 4 books.
Why are we making fun of this man?
I know. Listen, he calls it his pavilion. It's like a gazebo in the backyard, and he writes in every day.
This is adorable.
And well, you wouldn't say that if you heard some of the things he was having his characters do.
Well, is it demeaning to women, or is it?
I think the whole thing is demeaning to women, but the whole it's fun. But I mean, actually, no. He's a feminist. He self-identifies as a feminist, and so the book series follows Belinda Blumenthal. She is an executive or a sex executive at Steele's Pots and Pans, which they laugh at so much because they're like cookware, and it's British, so they're like, cookery companies don't call themselves Pots and Pans. He's just making up this company as Pots and Pans. And it's a series of madcap adventures, but also Pots and Pans espionage.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of international madcap adventures.
Yeah.
And just tons and tons of sex, and a lot of references to anatomy that doesn't exist.
Like what?
Like he always refers to vaginal lids. LIDS. And
does he mean like labia?
I
Is
guess,
he trying to talk about
saying
labia?
lids. And so the 3 hosts of the show.
You're not getting it. It goes with the whole pot and pan thing.
Oh my God.
Come on, get on his level.
5 years later.
Get on his level.
The 3 hosts are Jamie, James, and Alice. And Alice is always like, because James is gay, and Alice is like, okay, you guys, you don't know anything about female anatomy. Clearly, you're as clueless as
the vagina
the dad is. The dad's name has never been revealed.
Okay,
but he goes by Rocky Flintstone.
And is that what is that what it says as his byline?
The author is Rocky Flintstone. Has
the existence of this podcast helped sales?
It absolutely has. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And they've written an annotated version of the book that has like their little notes in it that you can get. It's like a special edition of the book. But some people have, and they've had like amazing guest stars on as well.
Really?
And they always ask them like, who do you want to play in the book series? And they all like have a different character they want to play. Daisy Ridley has been on. Michael Sheen has been on. Emma Thompson has been on.
Did Daisy Ridley play Belinda?
She wanted to play the Duchess, who's an elderly woman character.
Sure.
And they're like, you're too young to play the Duchess. She's like, no, I want the prosthetics, I want the makeup, I want everything.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that it's like bigger in Britain because they get these really big British stars to come on. And they've done a world tour.
But is it American?
No, they're British. They're all British.
Oh, they're all British.
Yeah. So they've done a world tour. They're on their second world tour now. We're going to see them in March at Radio City. We've seen
Radio City.
At Radio City, yeah. They've done the Sydney Opera House. They sold out the what's the big one in Britain? The oh god, they have an HBO special.
Globe? No, that's where Shakespeare. I'm only a few centuries off.
The Who. Doctor Who had the some Christmas spectacular with Matt Smith there once.
The Proms? Maybe.
Oh, Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, Royal Albert Hall. They sold out Royal Albert Hall. They're big.
That's crazy huge venue for a podcast.
Really, really big venues, and they sell out. So they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
And I mean, they certainly don't need my plug, but
have you read any of the books?
I haven't read any of the books.
But that's a whole world there on Amazon of because there's also somebody who has a series of people fucking dinosaur books.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only Amazon erotica that I was about to say interested in, but familiar with.
It's kind of amazing that we do live in a media culture where anyone can write a book and publish it.
Yeah. Have you ever read Lark Voorhees' book?
Yes.
That makes me sad.
Right, because it's clearly somebody who is schizophrenic.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? It's the love of God and shining Jesus sun.
It's a run-on sentence.
But there's she uses commas
all the time.
10 commas in a sentence.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's not.
Sad.
It's you're looking at insanity. It's,
right. It's not oh, what a dummy. It's this is a person who's unwell.
This is not that. This is a person who's just a bad writer and is writing smut, pure smut. I mean, really filthy stuff.
Really filthy stuff.
I can't stress this enough. It's not he's a funny old guy who writes things. No, it's filth.
Yeah.
But it's extremely funny.
Did you see the Jenny Nicholson video where she reads that book and she's like, this is definitely not a Raylo fanfic, but it clearly is a Raylo fanfic.
It's an hour, right? Or 2 hours or something. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, she also did a 2-hour episode where she reads that whole conservative book that's Die Hard in a college.
Yeah.
It's called Trigger Warning.
That was it.
Libs.
The Raylo fantasy.
Yeah.
But she skims over anything that might be sexual.
Yeah.
I feel like she's asexual. She's not into that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So let me talk about my obsession. My obsession is the Netflix series, The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance.
What?
Which is a series based on.
I wish I had a foghorn sound
And I had not seen the film.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the show. I'd seen a little bit of the film and I was aware of it.
Yeah.
I always put it in the same basket as Labyrinth, but I think it's actually much more complex than Labyrinth. Labyrinth's a little silly, although the producer of this Dark Crystal show was the baby in Labyrinth.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Toby?
Yeah, Toby is the producer of this new show.
Oh my god.
First of all, as a Jim Henson fan, it's totally his dream because it's 10 episodes, every episode's an hour.
Wow.
It is fucking epic.
It seems epic.
It is epic. Originally, the Henson Company,
right,
who one of the producers is Lisa Henson, is one of his daughters. They wanted to do an animated series.
Okay.
So they tested it, CGI series, and they're like, it doesn't feel like the movie. What if I guess I should say, in the movie, there are the Skeksis, which are the bad guys, and they're these weird bird-like monsters. And then there are the Gelfling, which are the little tiny elf, sort of elf-type people, and they're the good guys. There's only 2 in the movie, whereas the show, there's a million of them.
Right.
So they were like, okay, well, why don't we do the Gelflings as CGI and then try real puppets for the Skeksis. And then they're like, it doesn't look good. It's not doing it. So it was Netflix who called Henson and it was like, you know what? Let's just go for broke. Let's just do it with all puppets.
God, they're going to go broke one day.
And it is... there's a whole making of movie on Netflix as well, and they're like, this is the biggest puppet show ever. Nothing this complex has ever been done with puppets. Let me give you a few statistics.
Oh my god,
that they bandy about.
I love that about Netflix though. They'll really give people
the fact that they went and they were
the money to do whatever.
Told Henson, we're gonna do it, and that's why I feel like this is his dream. The production involved over 500 artists and craftspeople spanning across 2 continents. It included 176 days of shooting 59 different voice artists were involved in bringing the characters to life. By the way, all the Skeksis are people. So the Skeksis they all like talk like, yeah. So you don't necessarily always know who they are, but the Skeksis are voiced by Mark Hamill, Awkwafina, Keegan-Michael Key.
What?
What's his name from Shaun of the Dead?
Oh,
Simon Pegg.
okay.
Actually, Simon Pegg plays a character who's big in the movie, and he matches that guy's voice like perfectly. He plays like the scheming politician type Skeksy who like lies to everybody and like plays everyone against each other.
Harvey Firestein.
Harvey Firestein.
Okay.
So there's crazy amount of, and then the main Gelfling is why can't I think of anyone's names today? The one from Rocket Man.
Eggsy.
Yeah, Eggsy. Yeah. So there's a lot of Eddie Izzard's
Taron
in it.
Egerton.
Yeah. He's the main.
Wait, Eddie Izzard's in it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love him.
There's a lot of interesting people in it. Oh, what's her name? The one from Game of Thrones, like the main lady.
What's up with you today?
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Lena Headey?
Yeah, she plays.
Why am I getting these?
I know, you're good. She plays one of like the queens because there's like 6 different kingdoms with different queens, and then there's.
God, she can't get out of that loop, can she?
Yeah, she's but she's like a good guy in it.
Okay, I like her a lot. I like her.
She's great.
I like her like frown smile.
She's pretty intense in it. She plays the They're not called queens; they're called Madras, and
Sure.
she plays the.
I love Madra shorts.
Yeah,
So it's a good one.
And then there's the All Madra, who's voiced by Helen Bonham Carter,
Of course,
and she's like the queen of queens.
the king of queens.
Yeah. Who's the one you just said? Lena
Headey.
She is the Madra of Stone and Wood, which is like the more like badass Gelfling.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Gotta get into it.
There were over 1,000 hours of ADR recording.
Oh.
83 puppeteers involved.
It doesn't seem like that many for a production of this size. I mean, I know it is.
Yeah.
But expecting more.
170
I'm
puppets.
disappointed, honestly.
170 puppets.
Wow.
70 different creature species were crafted for the series. 88 specific Gelfling. Mm-hmm. In the movie, there's 2 Gelfling.
I feel like, why isn't this bigger? Like, everyone was like creaming themselves over fucking Avatar and like the world building and all this shit. And like, this sounds so much cooler.
I think there are some people that will categorically be like, well, there's puppets, right? And just won't watch it. But it's like epic. And it's brutal. Like, some of it's like, this is not for a child.
Oh my God.
Like, some of it's like, like characters that you like and are rooting for, like, die brutally. Like like you'll be like, oh, this guy, I'm rooting for this guy, and then they'll die, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Over 300 feet of fabric were used for each Skeksis costume.
Oh my God.
75 different sets were used. 10,000 hand-painted books were made for the library set. To create the Endless Forest, 3,000 artificial plants were used, and all in all, it has 2,500 people credited.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's cool is there is CGI, but it's like puppet first. Like everything that can be a puppet is a puppet. And then like even like things that could easily have been CGI, like they're like spider type creatures. It's like, okay, that could be CGI. Even those are puppets and they just use CGI to soften the edges.
Okay. I like when they do that and they like kind of smooth it out with the CGI to make it look, because then it becomes uncannily real in a scary way.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be scary.
It feels... Yeah, I mean, obviously it's puppets, but I also forgot to say, Jason Isaacs, who played Malfoy, he's the emperor of the Skeksis.
He is. He kind of looks like a bird, like an evil British bird. No, like a handsome bird.
Yeah,
Bill just looked up at me like,
Mark Hamill's great in it, but he's doing basically a Joker kind of way. He plays the scientist Skeksy. Toby Jones is in it. As a Gelfling, of course. Oh, Andy Samberg.
What?
Yeah, Andy Samberg and Bill Hader are in it as 2. Andy Samberg plays a good guy, the heretic, who's like a good guy Skeksy who left. And then there's a scene where they do a puppet show. So it's puppets doing puppets.
So postmodern.
Yeah. Because the good guys go to them for answers and they're like, we're going to explain it to you in the oldest art form ever.
Oh my God.
Puppets. It's really good. And then I went back and watched the film. And the film is good. But the show's much, much better.
Okay.
And you could see where the film hit up against walls of limitations of what they couldn't do.
Right. Like financial reasons or whatever. Or like technological reasons.
Yeah,
probably.
the Gelfling don't look that good in the movie. And I even Henson sort of admitted that he wasn't happy with the way they came out. As it is in the show, the Gelfling are all puppets, but CGI is used to like make them blink, to move their mouths in little ways. Not in a way that's distracting. I actually didn't know that they were CGI enhanced until I saw the making of. But just a little bit, just to sort of fix it all. But you could definitely see like they're puppets. It's just epic. It's so good. It's so good. And it's really one of these things where it's like there are so many characters. The three main characters don't even meet each other till like the 4th episode.
Oh, wow.
Because they're like they're going in 3 different directions. And there's 2 of the 3 leads, there's 1 male and 2 females.
Okay.
Which so often in fantasy, it's the other way around. 2 males, 1 female. And there's also a gay couple. One of the main girls, Dee. Well, her name is Deetra, but everyone calls her Dee. She has
Keeps the mosquitoes away.
Yes, she has 2 fathers.
Oh,
and like someone asked her about her family. She's like, "Well, I have 2 fathers and a brother." And then at one point, you see her fathers, and it's very cute.
Aw, like Bo.
Yes, exactly. It is like Bo. It's awesome. It's definitely worth watching.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
The first 20 minutes of the first episode is an info drop. That's like, whoa.
Okay. So
it's Sigourney Weaver, of course.
This is not pre-bed watching. It's like, do not fall
No,
asleep
you have
to
to
this.
take notes. You're like, wait, who's this again?
I'm like, okay, flowchart going.
Yeah, like, whoa, and then someone will come in. It really feels like a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's Game of Thrones with puppets, because like someone will come in and it's like, who is this? Oh, this was this one's brother from this episode. You're like, you just like, I don't remember any of this. Like the beginning. The storyteller is Sigourney Weaver.
Sure.
And
She'll weave me a tale.
Yeah. And that's the only episode she's in. And she just basically is like, this is where it is. This is what happens. Here are the skeksis, blah, blah, blah. There were 5 tribes. And it's like, wow. It's just like so much. And it's like, what?
Me?
And apparently she's one of the producers, Godmother.
Oh, I thought you were one of the producers.
No. One of the producers, they were like, who should we get to be the narrator? He's like, I could get my godmother to do it. And they were like,
who's that? Some jerk?
And she was like,
No,
Sigourney Weaver. And they were like, yes. Some jerk.
Who's that? Carol from Color Me Mine? No, it's Sigourney Weaver.
Is
it Linda from my power walking group in the morning? No, it's Sigourney Weaver.
This is Godmother Humor.
Is it Suzanne from my Weight Watchers group? Nope. It's Sigourney Weaver.
It's Carol who wants to talk to the manager. Is it a lady who has a sign in her living room that says "Live, Laugh, Love"?
Is it Barbara? For whom it is always wine o'clock.
Oh my god. Wine o'clock. On that note, this has been Pop Culture Man-Child and PCMC. I'm Mike Paggiorno. I'm joined today, once again, by Janine Gagliardi. Thanks. It's wine o'clock.
It's wine o'clock. I gotta go.
We end every episode.
That's the new sign-off.
Yep. It's wine o'clock. So since we're talking about Muppets, we end every episode with the words of the wise animal.
Go bye-bye.